The locals in the village of Elias don't go into the forest after the first frost. They say the trees change. They don't just lose their leaves, they start to listen. Elias was a botanist who didn't believe in folklore. To him, the forest was a collection of chlorophytum and pinophyta. He had traveled to the northernmost tip of the continent to study the singing pines, a rare cluster of ancient trees known for the strange melodic whistling they produced when the wind hit them just right. When he arrived, the forest was breathtaking. The trees were massive, their trunks thick with silver moss that shimmered like fish scales. But as Elias hiked deeper into the heart of the woods, the silence became heavy. There were no birds, no squirrels, not even the hum of insects. By the third day, the singing started. It wasn't a whistle, it was a vibration that Elias felt in his teeth. He set up his recording equipment near a tree that stood twice as tall as the others. Its bark wasn't rough, it was smooth, like stretched skin. That night, as the temperature dropped to -10 degrees Celsius, Elias sat in his tent, listening to the playback through his headphones. At first, it was just the wind. Then he heard it, a rhythmic, scratching sound. He turned the gain up. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It sounded like a fingernail on a chalkboard. And then, a voice. It wasn't speaking a language Elias knew, but the tone was unmistakable. It was a sob, a deep, agonizing whimper coming from inside the wood of the tree. Elias grabbed his flashlight and stepped out into the freezing night. He approached the massive tree, the beam of his light cutting through the mist. As he got closer, he noticed something impossible. The silver moss wasn't moss at all. It was hair. Fine, human-like hair growing directly out of the bark. He reached out a gloved hand to touch it, and the tree flinched. The ground beneath him began to shift. The roots weren't deep in the earth. They were coiled like muscles. Elias realized with a jolt of pure terror that the forest wasn't a collection of plants.